In a world where ferocity reigns supreme, witness the raw power and unyielding dominance of the most aggressive animals on the planet. From untamed jungles to the unforgiving oceans, this captivating expedition unveils the relentless fury of nature's finest warriors. Brace yourself for a thrilling encounter with the true champions of aggression, the wild boar. Wild boars may not seem like a big deal, especially when we compare them to their docile domestic counterparts. But let me tell ya, boars are no joke. They're incredibly aggressive and have a seriously violent nature. When fully grown, these boars weigh anywhere between 50 and 90 kilograms, which is more than enough to overpower a grown man. And let's not forget about their unmistakable long, curved tusks. These razor-sharp tusks are the boar's primary weapons, and when they get riled up, they charge at anything and anyone in their path. With their sharpness and the sheer force of their weight, wild boar attacks can cause some pretty severe injuries. Now, if a wild boar decides to attack, it isn't going to just charge straight at you. Oh no, it's far smarter than that. It'll circle around you, charging and waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike from behind. So if you happen to come across one of these aggressive creatures in the wild, it's best to leave it alone. However, if you find yourself being targeted by a wild boar, your only hope, albeit a bit comical, is to climb up a tree and hope that the boar loses interest in you. Saltwater croc. Might not be surprised to find the saltwater croc on this list because let me tell you, they're one of the most aggressive creatures out there. These animals are experts at ambushing their prey, but sometimes they'll even go all out and chase after them. And also get this, their aggressive behavior starts from a super young age. Research has shown that baby saltwater crocs have the same level of ferocity as their adult counterparts who have spent their whole lives in the wild. These little hatchlings have been caught displaying some violent behavior, both intentional and unintentional. When these baby crocs are swimming in open water, they actually bite and drag each other underwater, like they're in some kind of underwater wrestling match. Almost like they're trying to give each other a good old dunk. They're basically practicing their skills for the future, learning early on how their mama behaves by grabbing prey and dragging them underwater. Young as they are, saltwater crocs mean business right from the start. Training to become the fierce predators is kinda terrifying, though. Tasmanian devil. Alright, let's introduce you to this wild creature that calls the Australian island state of Tasmania its home. They're known as Tasmanian devils, and let me tell ya, they live up to their name like their Looney Tunes counterpart. These little guys are aggressive by nature, and they often end up in some serious scuffles with one another. If the situation gets pretty intense, the devil will release a musky odor that could probably clear out a room in no time. Kind of their way of saying, back off. And get this, all else fails, they let out a sneeze that's so forceful it can actually make them lose their footing. But if push comes to shove and there's no other way out, it's time for them to throw down. They'll engage in a full-on brawl, and let me tell ya, most devils end up with some battle scars to show for it. So these Tasmanian devils are no joke. Got their own unique ways of dealing with conflicts, and they're not afraid to get rough if they have to. The cassowary. Okay, let's talk about this unique bird that made it into our list, and trust me, perfect fit because it's considered the most dangerous bird in the whole wide world. We're talking about cassowaries, my friend. Now, when it comes to size, they're just a smidgen smaller than ostriches, but don't let that fool you. Cassowary attacks are way more intense than ostriches. When these birds get provoked, they turn into fierce warriors. They become extremely aggressive and launch vicious attacks, using their powerful legs as their main weapons. With just one singular strike of those clawed legs, they can break human bones. Yeah, they mean business. These cassowaries don't mess around. They charge at their victims, give them a solid kick, and sometimes even jump on them. Unlike emus, which by the way I was surprised to learn can also attack people, cassowaries can kick forward and downward. They're also not just limited to kicking, they also can even peck and headbutt you for good measure. Safe to say that these attacks can lead to all sorts of injuries, like puncture wounds, nasty cuts, and of course broken bones. Grizzly bear. Happen to come across a grizzly out in the wild, you best cross your fingers and hope it's having a good day. These bears are no joke when it comes to aggression and protecting their turf. This goes double if food or cubs are involved. We're talking about massive creatures weighing up to a whopping 600 pounds and capable of sprinting at speeds up to 35 miles an hour. Trust me, don't want to get on their bad side. Grizzlies are equipped with powerful jaws and razor-sharp claws that can tear through flesh and bone like it's nobody's business. If they feel threatened or provoked, they won't hesitate to launch an attack. Some folks believe that playing dead can save them in a grizzly bear encounter, but that's actually a strategy that doesn't always work. Sometimes the bear will keep going until it's satisfied. Definitely not a sit you want to find yourself in. Smart move is to steer clear of grizzly bears altogether. But if you do happen to encounter one, keep a safe distance and show them the respect they deserve. Black Mamba. Let's talk about the infamous black mamba, my friend. This snake is well known for a few reasons that really make it stand out. First off, it's the second largest venomous snake on the planet, and get this, it's also the speed demon of the snake world. It can slither at incredible speeds of up to 12 miles an hour. What really gives the black mamba its reputation is the sheer potency of its venom. The venom's so lethal that it can take down a grown human in a matter of minutes, and that's pretty serious. Now here's the thing about encounters with black mambas. Most of them don't end well. This snake is super aggressive, especially when it feels threatened. That's why it earned the spot on this list of dangerous creatures. While black mambas don't go around attacking for no particular reason, it's still a smart move to leave handling these dangerous creatures to the experts. Because when a black mamba decides that something is a threat, whether it's a human or something else, it strikes without a second thought. And here's what makes it even scarier. They don't just settle for one bite like most snakes do. No, they go all out and deliver multiple bites, each one packed with their deadly toxin. So my advice is to give the black mamba the respect it deserves and keep your distance. Unless you're a trained professional, it's best to stay away from these venomous speedsters. The sun bear. Let's talk about the sun bear, the smallest member of the bear family. This little guy is also the rarest among all the bear species. Might have heard it being called the honey bear, probably because it has a serious love for honey. Now, before you start picturing a cuddly Winnie the Pooh, these bears are nothing like that. In fact, they're more aggressive than any other bear species out there. Here's the deal, sun bears have been known to attack both humans and animals without any provocation whatsoever. Bit of a mystery what exactly triggers their aggression, which means they can be pretty dangerous to be around. Heck, it's even like that in controlled environments like zoos. They sport large canine-like teeth and claws, so when they do decide to go for it, let's just say it isn't going to be pleasant for anyone. So, as much as you might want to pet these honey bears, just don't. Admire their unique qualities from afar and let them do their thing in peace. It's for your own safety, trust me. The wolverine. These tough and determined creatures call the northern boreal forest and even the Arctic Circle their homes. Now, at first glance, you might mistake them for small bears, but here's the cool part. They're actually the biggest members of the weasel family. And when it comes to strength, there aren't many other animals that can match wolverines. These guys have short but seriously powerful limbs, which makes them top-notch hunters. In fact, there have been cases where wolverines have taken down mighty moose. That's a level of awesomeness we're talking about here. What sets wolverines apart is their fearlessness, though. With their huge paws, they can even run on snow, giving them a unique advantage to chase after prey like the snowshoe hare or grouse in any kind of weather. But here's an interesting tidbit. Despite their strength and aggressive reputation, wolverines are actually opportunistic eaters. They'd rather scavenge for a meal than go hunting if they can help it. In fact, during the winter months, they've been known to follow packs of wolves and feed off their kills. Now that's a risky move because wolves are one of the few animals that would dare to attack a wolverine. But our feisty friend here takes the chance, knowing full well that it's more than capable of defending itself if need be. The hippopotamus. Hippos are considered one of the most dangerous animals in Africa. They take their territory seriously and won't hesitate to cause some serious trouble if you cross their path, especially in the water. I'm talking about capsize your boat kind of trouble, mind you. Hippos are so aggressive that they even go after crocodiles and lions if they dare to disturb their precious nap time. Unfortunately, their aggression has some serious consequences. It's estimated that these semi-aquatic giants are responsible for around 500 human deaths each year in Africa. That's no small number. Let me give you an example. Back in 2014, a hippo attacked a small boat filled with unsuspecting Nigerian schoolchildren. Very heartbreaking story. 12 students and 1 teacher lost their lives in that tragic incident. And here's the thing, it's not just the water where their attacks happen. Hippos sometimes wander onto land in search of food, and if humans happen to be in their way, well, not a good situation. Now, what makes hippos so dangerous? Well, it's a combo of their massive size, weight, and those formidable teeth of theirs. These guys are built to cause damage, no doubt about it. But here's something not everybody knows. Hippos are surprisingly fast runners. They can easily outrun a human, reaching speeds of up to 20 miles an hour. Yeah, humans don't outrun that very well. The Cape Buffalo. The Cape Buffalo is one unpredictable and aggressive customer. You really don't want to push its buttons because it's going to push you back. Even the slightest hint of a threat or disturbance can set it off, and when it gets going, watch out. It will take on anything, even larger predators like lions. A mature Cape Buffalo stands about 6 feet tall and can weigh close to a ton. Let's not forget about their most notable feature, their massive thick horns. And trust me, getting rammed by a creature this size can result in some serious injuries or even death. It's no joke. The Cape Buffalo is at its most aggressive when it's wounded or when one of the calves of the herd is under attack. In those situations, it becomes a circling, stalking predator, waiting for the perfect moment to unleash its fury and tear apart its opponent with those intimidating horns. Oh, and when it comes to defending itself, Cape buffaloes aren't afraid to team up either. They engage in something called mobbing behavior, where they work together to fight off predators. That's why they call it the Black Death, not a nickname you want to mess with. See you all next time.